Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Grocery Land. We had a great week this week, but you will see it is a week of burgers. We were really busy this week, and a lot of our meals were just really fast, um, on the barbecue kind of meals. And also, that was prompted because we had a whole bunch of hamburger buns. So sometimes you eat what you have and you eat what works with your day. Like what worked with my week was just some really fast meals. Sometimes my meals are really elaborate and time consuming and fancy, and sometimes I just don't have, and it's about the time, but it's also about the energy. The busier you are with lifestyle things like preserves, so that is what kept me busier this week. The busier you are, the different decisions you make when it is time for cooking. So I like having things on hand, like hamburgers, because they help me without needing to pick something up like takeout. The busier I am and the less prepared I am, the more chance that I am going to make decisions like that I will regret. I inevitably regret it. I like it when I'm eating it, but then I have buyer's remorse when I start thinking about how much money or what that equivalent of money could have purchased for me. So I'm really glad that I was able to have hamburgers this week and facilitate a really fantastic week of preparedness. So everything I did this week is going to help me come the winter. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would really appreciate that. Share the videos, leave your comments. You may be watching this on our YouTube channel or also on our Facebook page. I appreciate all of the comments, especially when you let me know what the value of my groceries, how those compare to the value you can get in your local stores. Hope you all have a great weekend. Sometimes you just can't resist the deals. This brand, Fantino and Mondello, they are on sale for $5.99. Bunch of different kinds, 100 grams in the pack. Oh, that one's $1.25. But this one is on in-store special offer for $2.99. I think I'm going to get one of those to try. I've been collecting some supplies for a charcuterie board, so this would be something different that I don't have. These are the groceries that I have for this week, plus an item that I ordered on last week's budget, and it didn't arrive until this week. I was substantially under last week. I was around $48. These cheddar and jalapeno cornbread packages are going discontinued. One of our kids had an epicure party, and so we ordered 4 packages of these. They were on for $9.50 for a set of 2, so we paid $19.12. That bumped us up just over the $60 rate for the $60 range for last week. But we love these. They're gluten-free and supporting the party, plus adding some items into our pantry that we like, that we know we're not going to be able to get anymore. All of the rest are for this week. We are currently at $63.33. However, I did redeem fast fuel coupons at both Sobeys and Foodland. I get fast fuel coupons when I buy gas for myself, but I'm often in the position where I get free ones, where people who are buying gas simply don't want their own. I don't understand why. It's free money towards groceries at Foodland and Sobeys. It's a coupon. It's literally like cash. You're paying with cash with this coupon, and it's valid at Sobeys and Foodland. So when other people definitely don't want them, I am gladly take them. Today alone, just today, when we were running a few errands, we got $6, just under $6 worth of free coupons. So you'll see, I redeemed quite a few that I had, but when you consider that I got $6 in free ones today, it doesn't really seem like I redeemed all of that many. I shopped at Walmart, Avery's, Costco, Sobeys, and Foodland. So first thing, I shopped at Walmart. I got 2 bags of sour cream and onion rings. These used to be like $1.12. Their chips were $1 even, but these onion rings were always just a little bit more. Now they're $1.67 each. $3.97. Boursin cheese is still on sale, and I am starting to accumulate items for a future charcuterie board. Clementines, $5.99 for 2 pounds of clementines. My total at Walmart was $13.30. I shopped at Avery's. Avery's has peppers on right now for 99 cents a pound. They have them on the sign advertised out front as red, but they also have, when I was inside, the orange and the yellow for the same price. Keeping in mind that I'm thinking of future charcuterie boards, we had some nibblies one night last week, and we consumed the absolute last of my prepared cranberry pepper jelly. So I thought, with the peppers on sale for such a great price, I would make some more cranberry pepper jelly and perhaps some blueberry pepper jelly, because I have some frozen blueberries in the freezer. I also got a red onion. My grand total was $2.75 at Avery's. The peppers were $1.63 and the onion was $1.12. I was in the city for work for several days last week, and actually the first day of this week as well. Of course, it's right beside Costco. Costco is probably 1 minute away from where the conference was. So I got this almond fruit crunch. It was $11.99, and you can see here, I'm going to pull this back, it's 900 grams. This one has in it maple, nut, and fruit cereal with almonds. Like you can see cranberries in there. Oh, here we go. Cranberries, almonds, cherries, and pumpkin seeds. $11.99 for 900 grams. They had the Quaker Harvest Crunch, 1.8 kg on sale for $8.99. And I know it was cheaper, and I know it was double the amount, but it was plain. It didn't have any nuts, no fruits, no berries, or I don't know, maybe it has whatever the base nuts comes with it, but it was nothing fancy. So I decided to go with this one. We'll see if we like it. They had tortillas on sale. These are a very large package. We're 18, club pack of 18, and they were on sale for $3.99. Thinking that we like to have dips and snacks in the night, plus also thinking of future charcuterie boards, I got the smoked Gouda and pepper dip. I'm wondering if perhaps it has, if you're supposed to heat it or if it's supposed to be cold. Oh, here we go. Enjoy warm. Okay, so that's really good. Oh, and gluten-free as well. This was a little pricey. It was $13.99. But you can see this is a really, really large container. It doesn't say how much is on here, does it? Oh, here we go. How much is in here? 680 grams. That's massive. So this was $13.99, and it is Gouda. Excited. And then I got this interesting salami trio. I'm always keeping my eyes out. I look at these every time I go to Costco. This was $16.99, but as you can see here, it's 2 separate packages, and each of the packs are 350 grams. So that's a lot of meat. Works out to, so $16.99, that's 17, 8.50. So $9 a package. Works out to just under $3 per 100 grams. It's a good value. And so it comes with the Genoa salami, the Milano salami, and the Calabrese salami. And this will give us, nice that it's sealed, a minimum of 2. But depending on if it's just the handsome one and I, or if we have guests, maybe each one of these packs would do 2 times if it was just us. So my total at Costco was $46.96. That's really the budget killer. right there. Costco is the budget killer when you're thinking, on average, my budget's approximately loosely $60, and I just spent $46.96 in one store on 4 items. Yeah, okay. No wonder I had to crack out the fast fuel coupons. So let's talk about this one first. This was at Foodland, the steak, and this is a beef sirloin tip triple A steak. It was $11.13 plus $4 off. So that brings it down to $7.13. I redeemed fast fuel coupons. And so you can see what did I actually end up paying after the coupons? 7 cents. So I like this one in particular because it had a large steak. So we'll cut this in half and freeze this. And this will be a steak meal for us some night on the barbecue. This one is smaller. We will freeze that separately and we can use that in strips for something like a Philly cheesesteak. So very excited for that price. It was a good price anyways, but to redeem my fast fuel coupons, better price. And then I wanted buns. We still have a lot of hamburgers left. We still have chicken burgers. So I wanted to get some buns. I really liked the buns that we got, not last week, but the week before last, or maybe even 2 weeks ago. These were crusty rolls from Sobeys. We cut them and used them as hamburger buns. They lasted a really long time. They were really good. So $4.79. Pumpkin spice silk for coffee. So this is a limited edition, dairy-free. I'm very excited about this. That was $3.29. And I wasn't even planning on getting this. I was really only going in there to get the buns, but as I tend to do, I just did a little walk around the store, and they have this. The Fantino and Mondello, and all of the different varieties of this were on for $5.99, except this one was an in-store special for $2.99. And this was a black pepper capicola. I'm probably saying that wrong. It's 2 different kinds in here anyways. You can see the difference. So my total at Sobeys was $11.07, and you can see I've redeemed a bunch of fast fuel coupons, and I ended up paying 25 cents for all of that. I'm really happy with all of these groceries. I'm even happy that last week we ended up going over because I really do like that cheddar and jalapeno cornbread. I'm sad that they're not going to be carrying it anymore in the future. So lots of great options for us for this week, and I best get cooking because I need to make not only this red pepper jelly that I bought these red peppers for, but I have a bunch of chili peppers, hot peppers, and just some sweet little peppers just for color that I need to get because I'm making hot pickled peppers. We are having hamburgers for supper tonight. I was going to make a salad to go with this, but I think we're just going to have just plain burgers, simple supper. We had some pretty elaborate meals last week, and maybe we'll have a snack later on tonight. My burger has onions, tomatoes, relish, mustard, and the Handsome One's burger has relish and mustard. Oh yeah, and we have cheese on both of them. His is a skinny one. Mine looks yummier. We are having a little snack. We are trying the Gouda pepper cheese dip with some pretzel crackers. Very yummy. This is the last of the beef tamale pie casserole. We ate it for supper one night last week. The Handsome One had it for either lunches or suppers a couple times while I was away for work. And we're having this for lunch today, so this is the end of it. It was certainly a really substantial quantity of food. We both really enjoyed it. I've got a couple tips from some viewers who suggested that if I didn't want to put in the 2 pounds of meat, because of course in this day and age, who in the heck puts 2 pounds of meat in a casserole? Like nobody can afford to do that with groceries, the prices that they are right now. But I've had a couple suggestions that we should or could in the future add some beans in with the meat mixture. And both the handsome one and I like black beans. I think that that would be something that would add a little bit to this. Anyways, it was really good. I'm looking forward to lunch, and we'll definitely make this again. We're just starting to wash the most recent peppers that we picked from the garden. So these are chilies. Plus, these are the peppers that I picked last week. As I was away, a lot of them have changed from green to red, which I'm understanding. That means they are getting hotter. I also have these yellow hot peppers. Plus, for color variety, I have these sweet little mini peppers. So, one yellow, orange, and red. And we are going to start making some pickled peppers. So what I'm doing, you can see that I've got a bunch cut already. I'm layering them in different colors. I haven't even opened any of the sweet ones yet. I'm saving this one. This is one of the hottest ones that we have to the end. I'm going to save the seeds in a little glass bowl, as well as the seeds of these couple mini jalapenos that I have. And I am going to ensure that each jar in the bottom has a couple rings of this. These are the hottest ones, and a couple pieces of jalapeno and a little bit of the membrane and the seeds of both. I find the chili peppers hot. The handsome one does not find them that hot. So he wants to ensure that these pickled pepper rings are hot. So that is the measure that I'm taking to ensure that some of that heat gets through in all of the jars. Also, isn't this funny? Look, these cloves, those were in one of the cloves, and then this other clove, massive. But some garlic goes into each of the jars as well. So that's kind of where we're at. It said 6 cups would make about 8 pints. I've got, not pints, half pints. Half pints or pints? I need to look back at my recipe again. I'm thinking in my mind the 250 milliliter jars, which are what people call half pints, that 8 of those were going to come out of 6 cups of pepper rings. I've got 11 jars ready to go, so I'm making just a bit extra. Oh, and the brine is 3.5 cups of vinegar, 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of coarse salt or pickling salt, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. We bring that to a hard boil. It's going to boil for 1 minute. We're already going to have the rings inside of the jars, and then we are going to pour the brine over top and process as normal. I have turned the burner on. I'm starting to boil the brine. I have 11 sections here set out from that last pepper and some jalapenos. And I have some extra here. And these seeds are from the jalapenos as well. And I am going to start to pack the jars. These look pretty colorful in the jars. You can see I have the jars on a bar pan. I did heat them, although the recipe didn't call for it. The jars were hot when I packed them. I have some leftover peppers. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those, but I do have enough, and I saved out a variety of colors and some of the really hot one so that I could do up a few more jars once I get them clean. This just happens to be all the jars I had prepared for today. I had quite a lot of peppers left over, so I decided to do something a bit different. I'm using the recipe that I use for dilled carrots. So you can see some dill that I have in there. It was dried, but I picked the dill myself fresh and then dried it in a jar. So I've got dill in there, garlic, peppercorns. I topped each jar with a tablespoon of coarse salt. I'm boiling vinegar. I will pour the vinegar brine over this. We will process as per canning. And then these ones we won't eat for 6 weeks. That's the same duration that I leave the carrots. So yeah, just for a little bit of variety. And this is what the jars look like after the water bath canning. Here are all of the pickled peppers. The smaller jars, the half pints, are the original recipe. And these two larger ones in front, they are pints. They are going to be dilled pickled peppers. Interesting. We've got a couple of these in the freezer. It is sweet potato cauliflower top shepherd's pie. I got them on an in-store clearance. Ooh, 3 months ago, maybe 4, maybe even a little bit longer. I can't exactly remember. And we had one of them, and surprise, I did not love it. But we are going to have this one for supper tonight. So you can see it was the consistency of the meat that I wasn't fond of before. So we're trying it again. I might like it better this time. Anyways, shepherd's pie for supper. I am making a pasta salad. Got all kinds of options set out here that I can use to go with burgers, which we are having for supper tonight. We are also having home fries in the air fryer. So you see we've got some diced potatoes in there. We toss them in a little bit of oil and salt and pepper. I've got celery, green pepper, tomatoes, onions in here already. I am going to add a few more things. I've made a dressing. It is mustard, lemon juice, olive oil, and spices. And so this is going to be our pasta salad. I added in cucumber, Parmesan cheese, some pickle juice. Trying to think what else. Pretty much everything you see, the peppers, the tomatoes, the celery I mentioned before, salt and pepper, and if it's not exactly to our taste or flavorful enough, we can always add more spices onto our plate. The potatoes are almost done, just another minute or two. Burgers, home fries, and they're just mini little home fries, and pasta salad. Looks great. We put a little sprinkle of a cheese topping on top of the fries. It is 10 after 8, 10 after 9 at night. I just got home. This is food rescue that I just picked up tonight from the same group that I do sometimes get food rescue from. It was Annapolis Valley Frugal Moms. They rescued 13,000 pounds of hascap berries. Haskap. So if you've never heard of a hascap berry, they look like a long blueberry, but they taste kind of like a tart raspberry. They were in 35-pound boxes, so these were frozen. So before I can repackage these into a more sensible storage for my freezer, they need to thaw a little bit so that I can get them apart. So this is what they look like. And I'm glad I got those pickled peppers all made because I'm going to be making jams and some other delicious preserves. It's the next morning. The berries are mostly still frozen, but I was able to scrape from the top. They were loosened just enough for me to get these 2 large freezer bags full. Still this many frozen ones left in the box. I will work on scraping some more off as they thaw. Leftover pasta salad for lunch today. I topped it with a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I know this seems to be a week of burgers. We're having chicken burgers tonight for supper, but we have a lot of buns left over, so I want to get those used up. We are going to have it with coleslaw, a sidekick that I've probably had in the cupboard for 3 or 4 years, and that's it. Coleslaw, sidekick, and chicken burgers tonight for supper. Chicken burgers and a sidekick. We decided not to have coleslaw because the handsome one didn't like the look of the cabbage. I decided to make some banana bread. I'm going to add in a bunch of the hascaps. This is probably drastically going to change the consistency and the cooking time, but I have a lot of hascaps, and since I don't plan on making 470 bottles of jam, I don't know how many I'd need to make to use them all up. That was just probably a poor exaggerated guess, but a lot. I'm trying to think of other ways that I can use them. So I'm going to add a bunch into this, and also maybe some chocolate chips, I was thinking. I think I have some chocolate chips. So I added in about a packed cup full of hascaps. This whole bread's probably going to turn purple, like blueberry purple. That will be fun though. So it's definitely purple. I decided, because I added extra wet ingredients into the recipe, instead of putting this in a loaf pan like how the recipe was designed, I decided to use a cake pan. It is shallower, so it won't take quite as long, or it'll cook faster with the extra moisture in the recipe. So we're going to try this out. Oh, and we don't have any chocolate chips. The handsome one said, "We don't have any chocolate chips." He ate them all. The hascap, which looked purple when it was batter, looks chocolate. But it's not. I didn't add any chocolate. I'm pretty excited to try this. I need space in the freezer for these hascap berries. So I am taking out every scrap that I can find in there, every little teeny bag. I don't know what kind of broth this is. It's either ham or chicken. Don't know. Found this little bag of corn. This is some leftover ham. I don't even know if this is leftover chicken or if it was a bag I started with some bones for broth. If that's what it is, I will use that to make broth. That's mushrooms. For some reason, I don't know why we have so much pasta salad. I did ask the handsome one to make a cup and a half of dry pasta, but he got the pasta part and missed the 1.5 cup part. So we have enough pasta salad to last us for a long time. So I thought, okay, well, it's full of fresh vegetables. It's got pasta in it. So I'm going to throw some in a soup, make some kind of a noodle soup, and that will be lunches for the next 3 days. The handsome one has told me I don't need to make witch's brews to clear out space in the freezer. I actually think this looks and smells pretty good. It hasn't even come to a boil yet. Yeah, I'm okay with this little witch's brew. I mean, it's October and Halloween is coming. Lunch today is soup, which is really good, by the way, for a witch's brew, and applesauce. This is what I have left from the hascaps, from the 35 pounds of hascaps. I was able to get 5 large freezer bags, a small freezer bag. This is mostly juice. You can see like a couple little berries floating in the top. And this is what I'm going to process now. So this is going to be jams and whatever else I decide to make with it. So for current processing, I just needed to get it all cleaned up, get it ready to go in the fridge. It stains everything, so I was really thoughtful about what storage containers I was using for this, because I still had the last of the berries in the plastic bag inside of the box. So now this will work better. I probably won't get this jam processed this week, but it'll be one of the very first things that I do next week. We are having pizza for supper. We made the dough in the bread maker. I have 2 pans set out here, so I think I'm going to try to do a pizza and a garlic fingers. We took out some pepperoni out of the freezer, some little pre-sliced pepperoni. We have cheese, and I think we're going to add on peppers and mushrooms. I popped the pizza in the oven before I took my video. It's got on it pepperoni, green peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes, and cheese and onions. I'm making my own garlic butter. This is diced garlic, butter, and parsley. I'm just going to microwave it till it's a little bit soft and then spread it on for my garlic fingers. These are the garlic fingers, mozzarella cheese, and topped with bacon bits. Heading into the oven right now. Everything's looking good. Turned out great. This looks absolutely delicious. We should probably let it cool a bit, but I'm just gonna go for it. I might burn my mouth. I was hoarding all of my fast fuel coupons. I have a lot. The ones that I get when I get gas, plus all of the ones that I get that people leave behind. I was hoarding them for, I don't know exactly what. I was going to do a big thing, but I wasn't actually planning on buying jars this week. I have lots of 1 liter mason jars. I have lots of 500 milliliter mason jars. So those are quarts and pints for anybody that is on the imperial measurement system. But what I do not have is lots of half pints or 250 milliliter jars. And definitely, I only have one 125 milliliter jar because I used all the half pints to process all my pickled peppers because who knew I was getting 35 pounds of hascaps. So I need some jam jars. Long story short, I'm going to redeem a bunch of my fast fuel coupons for some mason jars. I'm on my way to Sobeys. You seriously don't want to know. I redeemed a boatload of fast fuel coupons. I redeemed $20 worth of scene points, and I still had to pay out of pocket $4 and change. But I did end up getting a few freezer jam pectin kits. I don't usually make freezer jam, but I think I am going to make a little bit of freezer jam from this batch. And if I decide not to, it's not like the pectin is going to, like I'll just put it in the cupboard for another time. Soup for lunch today. I was originally thinking that I didn't have any of the 125 milliliter jam jars, or that I actually had one, but I have 3. And these are old Epicure jars that I like to save. I find that when I use these for jam and then water bath them, that the lids self-seal. So I'm going to start using some of those. And then I've got a couple set aside here where the lids won't seal, but they can be for some fresh jam in the fridge. Then I don't have to use any of my rings or seals if I'm smart enough to do a couple aside that are going to go for fresh eating. Blending or pureeing the berries is certainly not a requirement of making jam, but hascap berries are rather a large berry. I prefer less chunks in my own jam. That's me personally. So I have pureed the berries here so that there's less chunks, more smooth jam, but not a jelly, which is just juice and no berries. I'm not feeling the best today. I'm not feeling up to supper right now. If I want something later, I might have some soup or something light. I just told the handsome one to make something for himself, and so he just decided to make a burger because we've got lots of buns left and lots of burgers. Just very, very easy. I've never made hascap jam before, so I've read several different recipes online. And the biggest thing that I see is that hascaps are extremely naturally high in pectin. And if you are using a 1-to-1 ratio with sugar, you don't need to use pectin at all. They will naturally set. So some fruits are like that. I find that with cranberries as well. Now, I don't usually make a 1-to-1 sugar to fruit ratio jam. I usually make a low sugar using a no sugar needed pectin by Bernardin. I like recipes from a website that you can go to. Anybody can go to it. It's called pickyourown.org. I discovered them over a decade ago. And if you've never made any preserves before, they have step-by-step pictures. Like they show you a picture. These are the berries. Wash the berries. This is a pot. Put those berries in the pot. It's pretty straightforward. And when I was a novice preserve maker, I found it really, really helpful. And I use a lot of their recipes. I just find that they work. So normally I would use a package of the no sugar pectin with the ratio of berries that they indicate on the website. And the author of that site, whoever it is, happens to find that when she uses just a tad bit, maybe a quarter to a third of a package more pectin, her jam sets better. And I always do that as well. But since this is a no pectin kind of fruit. I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going to use a low quantity of sugar. So I'm actually going to use a half a package of the No Bernardin pectin because I'm using less sugar than a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're going to see how this turns out. All right, so in this little bowl, I had a half a cup of sugar. I've mixed the half a package of pectin, and I had that half a package because I've used that in the past as I'm going to add a little more pectin in to make the recipe set better. And I'm going to dump this in the berries. Stir this in. We're going to bring this to a boil. And once this is at a hard boil, then I'll add in the rest of the sugar. I'll bring it to a boil again, and I'll boil it until I feel like it's setting. Then I'll bottle it and preserve or process as normal. This is starting to look really good. I tend to bring mine to a boil slowly. I find it reduces. It doesn't eliminate the quantity of foam that you get, but it does reduce it. And just in case for anyone that's interested, this is my pickling spoon or jam spoon. I got it from a farm museum. So this is a working farm set up how Canadians would have farmed years ago before a lot of technology. And do you see the angle on the spoon? So on the bottom on the left, down there, the spoon is flat. And that is designed to prevent your pickles, your jams from sticking to the bottom of your pot as you're bringing everything to a boil. I love this pickling spoon, and it's got a handy little, it's like this part on the top. I've had it for a long time. I know, it's silly to have a favorite spoon. This one's mine. So the pectin and berry mixture did come to a hard boil that I could not stir away. I've added the remaining sugar. I'm going to bring this back to a boil, hard boil for 1 minute, and then I'm going to start testing for the gel quality of the jam. I have some of my glass jars set up. I'm using my regular canning funnel for these larger ones that won't seal, that will just go in the fridge for fresh eating. But for these smaller jars, my canning funnel won't work, so I actually have to use a smaller funnel, and it's complicated. It's not as easy. So I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half pints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the Epicure jars, 3 of the small ones in the front, 125 milliliters. And there's 1 of those in the fridge that didn't seal properly. And I put it in there to chill so that we can try it tonight. And the 2 on the top right, a little bit bigger. I know I said that I wasn't going to get a chance to do these this week, that they would need to wait to the beginning of next week, but I feel like I've got a bunch of stuff on the go and that I just needed to get it done. So now at least this is done, and the rest of the hascaps, so the juice is still in the fridge, but the rest of the hascaps are in the freezer. So that just gives me time. That's always what we need, right? More time. It's quite late, and of course, since I didn't eat any supper, I'm hungry now. So I just threw a couple potatoes in the air fryer. They've got some lemon pepper on them. Top with ketchup, simple supper. Late supper. Maybe I should call this a midnight snack. I added cheese and made a quick package mix of gravy from Dollarama. So you can see after watching this week that I got a surprise that I was not expecting of hascap berries. I am so fortunate that I am able to participate with a local group that does a food rescue. It is an absolute shame when food goes to waste. I hate seeing that in myself. Anything that I have that might go to waste, and I work really hard to prevent that from happening. But on a grand scale, like say 13,000 pounds of hascaps, I'm glad there's a local group that can pull together, get those to different areas within the province, and people like myself can rescue the food and use it before it's lost. Have a great week.